Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Paperless
Yep.
Podcast. So we are back for the third time in the last 2 years. We are back. We have like the man with a lot of clout right now, Weston, the owner of Worry Bricks. Like we wanted to just
We
like
here.
we wanted to just do like a standard podcast, but out of nowhere he just jumped in. Always appreciated. Love you, Weston. Um,
Love you guys too, man. Thanks for having me.
but yeah, I'm here with Adrian and Curtis. You know,
Yo.
Hi.
the Token Nation and the Puerto Rican homie.
Where? Alright, bro. No, you need to cut that. You need to chill. I'm trying to get famous in the future. And some fucking kid on Reddit is gonna be like, "Oh, back in the paperless podcast, you can see that he was described as fucking Mexican."
Bro.
Anyways,
Okay, so yeah. So Ayo Weston, how you doing, bro? Like I know
How's it going, man?
I know we were talking about some really cool stuff before.
Yeah, so I must say, I kind of just barged in here. I do appreciate you having me on an actual podcast. I kind of just popped in just as a joke because I figured you would have like revoked all permissions for different channels, but I think maybe just forgot. So I just popped in because I thought it would be funny. And now here we are recording the next episode of the Paperless Podcast. And I must say, I had a blast doing the last one. But yeah, we were just talking about bricks and the things that are happening with them. We were just discussing the
Water
possibility
brick.
of doing different
Yeah.
one of ones. Yeah. So on that subject, specifically the water bricks, because those are currently the record holder for our most popular post just by engagements, which I kind of had a sickening feeling that might happen because every back in the day back in like September when the first like real brick drop was. I mean, there was like a small brick drop in Black Friday of 2020 with some of like our printed ones, but these are the ones with like the official revamped design with the new magnet. Everything's been sort of recalibrated, new functions, all this good stuff. And we did some resin printed ones. Now I must say the reason we stopped doing this, firstly, the demand was just immediately too much to handle for just a couple of kids with their 3D printers. It just couldn't be done. Secondly, and most importantly, the resin was just too fragile. It's I would it was frustrating it was so hard to get these prototyped because we would get a prototype printed and Will would mail it to me and it would either be like broken upon arrival, or I would take it out and flip it in my hands for a few minutes and then drop it, and it would instantly break. I mean, like within 5 minutes, I wouldn't even get to use it. So it's just like, yeah, okay, I think that one will work. Like in the 5 minutes that I got to play with it, it felt pretty nice, and so that's kind of the reason why it took so long. It took us from Black Friday of 2020 all the way to September of 2021 to do the next drop. But here we are, and with those resin ones in September, we did a couple that were sort of vaguely transparent, definitely more translucent, and they were, of course, resin, and so any sort of UV resin will sort of yellow over time, and that's that would be the same with these water bricks. They're still very fresh, but give them a few years, they would start to yellow. It's the nature of polyurethane in this case. But
I mean, like it's
exactly.
going it's going to go from like water bricks to piece bricks, so it's a win-win. So it's a win-win, like
Yeah, maybe lemonade bricks.
Yeah.
Go on the beverage theme.
Yeah.
But I was even back then those were it. Those were the fan favorite. And one thing that I'll kind of do, I'll let you into a little bit of Worry Bricks marketing. If I see that something is doing really well, I'll intentionally starve everybody of it just to make it that much juicier.
Supply and
It's
demand.
The lotus in
Yeah.
hand tactic.
I mean,
Exactly.
that's the
It's-
point, honestly. Like,
for sure.
it really is.
It's just it's so tempting because it's a very fine line, because sometimes when you've got a banger on your hands, sometimes it's worthwhile to just sort of capitalize on that while it's still fresh, because some things aren't as great months from when the idea comes out. Sometimes it's best to do it right then. But if you can find that situation where if you just tease it and tease it and tease it, and then once the drop finally happens, you'll sort of reap the benefits of that demand that you've been building.
You've been creating, yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of what I figured would happen with these clear ones, especially just because they turned out so pretty. I mean, miles above the ones that everybody loved back then. So, but I was talking right before we started this about the trip that
Will?
just came to a conclusion yesterday, actually. And on my way there, I had to pick up and drop off Will at the Kansas City airport, which is about 3 hours from me. So I had a lot of driving. And on my drive there, I was listening to a Ray Charles song called Ruby. And I must say, if it does ever come to fruition that I'll do dyed water bricks, I'm definitely doing red first, and it's definitely, the trailer is going to have Ruby by Ray Charles in it, because it is just, it would be perfect.
For sure. Like, hey, yo, I have one question, though.
Let's hear it.
Like, I wanted to do some photos for the latest Worry Brick, and I feel attacked that I didn't got contracted to do them, so...
The tacticals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
the
I feel
tacticals are pretty
betrayed.
sweet.
I feel betrayed.
Betrayed. That's tough, man. Don't feel like that.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kidding.
We've been, I don't know, especially since Will was here, I kind of wanted to take a different approach to how I might market these. Having just another human being within my grasp that can, use a camera and do tricks and stuff. Like, we've got the official trailer for the Tacticals comes out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. It's a YouTube premiere. I've posted about it in our Discord.
Yeah. I saw
the
it.
Worry
I
Bricks
saw it.
Discord. So yeah, it'll probably have come out by the time you're hearing this, but really proud of that. It's about 60 seconds. It's just so I could post it on Instagram as well. But it's our first time sort of doing like this. This is the first time this product has been presented in a sort of Cardistry-esque solo video fashion, and I'm really excited about it, and I think people are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, like, I get it, because honestly, when I do the photos, I feel like people see it like not more professional, but more like a product instead of like a community.
Exactly.
And with this like last release, you can see there's something that like it's more for like a community, like two friends joining on something, just taking photos, chilling, posting tricks and stuff like that.
For sure. I think, that's a good point. I think one thing that I've always liked about your renders is that they're perfect for, it's like product photography, but like done to a level that can't be achieved, with
real life.
You'd really need like a professional studio and, tens of thousands of dollars to pull something like that off. And so, those renders are incredibly valuable. And I think that they're very popular. Everybody, when I post one of your renders, they pop off. It's just, it's like it's a cheat code for engagement, basically. Like, just get Pablo to get some renders.
Every time you post any of the renders that I have done, like, I get more followers. Like, just
Yeah.
just people start
Pretty cool.
following me. I'm like, why? And then I just click on their profiles and I see that they follow like Weston Hamilton Labs and Worry Bricks. Okay, I get it. Yeah. So
That's funny.
I'm just like leeching your fame, your clout, like that's why when you see like my profile, you
Mhm.
see a lot of Worry Bricks like photos and stuff,
Yeah, man.
because like you said, it's the easiest way to get engagement, honestly.
For sure. Yeah, man. There's a bit of a hype train going on. It's kind of
Yeah,
a crazy feeling.
like on TikTok.
Listeners are getting some really good value. They're getting to hear it straight from the man who makes the fucking $40 plastic magnets. And the guy who makes the weird pictures with all the shapes that he posts, that the other weird guy posts on the Instagram, which is crazy. So a
Exactly.
little bit of geography.
It's a real meeting of the minds here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo,
the whole yeah.
I have a question. It was
The only
like,
thing we need is the Chinese kid who makes them in the fact.
no, stop it. Stop. So I have a question. Like the 420 photo I posted,
Mhm.
like you contact me just like asking to like heads up and stuff like that. Like, did people actually believe that you were dropping that colorway, or like?
Man, you wouldn't believe the messages that I get. I think the larger, and that's not to say that that's not to say that bricks have like a huge audience yet, but it's definitely a bigger responsibility that I have like ever felt with anything I've ever done. And it's hard to effectively communicate. Like the bigger the following gets, the harder it is to get little pieces of information out. And so like I don't know, I'm a bit of a control freak. I must say. I think it's I've just got a very particular way that I've liked to
Manage
show a
stuff.
product
Yeah.
for the first time, or if like all the shapes and stuff that we've got like in our back pocket right now, like everything is just super calculated. And so whenever, like, even when Will has got, sometimes there will be, because getting prototypes done is really expensive, and I can't always afford to have tons of prototypes made for both of us to use. And so sometimes what we'll do to sort of cheat it is he'll just print one from his printer and just use the same colors. But sometimes he just doesn't have those colors where he's at. And so depending on the release, sometimes I'm cool with him using colors that aren't official. Sometimes I really want just that colorway to be
out.
to be shown. Like
Yeah.
for this specific one, the way that I'm trying to market the tacticals, the entire point of tacticals is that they're blacked out. They're all black. And so if we were to use those same shapes, that cage body and that crosshair cap, but like it was like, a white body with a black cap, like that's not tacticals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, it's confusing. And so sometimes I've just got very deliberate purposes, and I like to stick to them because I've worked hard to sort of ingrain that in people that, hey, these are tacticals. It's got, a skeletonized body, and it's got like a dot sight kind of in the cap, because you can see the magnet underneath, and it's shiny and it's cool, and
It looks really cool.
Makes sense.
thanks.
It makes sense to be called tactical.
Yeah.
Speaking of, because you previously mentioned this, shout out to you, Weston, because bricks, they're cool, I guess. I mean,
Thank you.
they're all right. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that, and you even posted this on your Instagram, that now that they were your full-time job, which was fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's nuts.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I guess this is more of a personal thing. But how was the process of you going to work every day, being, I think it's shift manager, something?
Yep. I was service
getting
manager at
home
Chipotle.
and working that, and then when was the point that you were like, okay, now this is going to be this thing. This is going to be a full-time thing. How was the transition from uh, service manager to full-time brick boy? In terms of like financials and your personal goals and careers and your time. Like, can you talk a little bit
Sure.
about that?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the funny story. It's like I, to be honest, I wasn't quite ready to leave my job yet. Um, I think it was a. It's this is something I've never really talked about, but um, I was
That's why you're here.
living in a situation that I wasn't entirely comfortable in. There was a lot of things going on that I wish I would have done differently, and but it's also there's like there's a bit of the beauty in the struggle kind of thing. It's like I I sacrificed so much to make bricks possible. I was living somewhere that I didn't want to live, working a job that I didn't want to work. I sold so in July of 2021, I got a girlfriend, and I had this kind of a weird episode that I'm still kind of unpacking, where I woke up and I didn't want any of the things that were in my house anymore. Um, it was like an emotional shedding almost. It was like getting rid of I don't know quite what, but like I got rid of all of my furniture. I
Wow.
sold all of my camera equipment other than just my camera. I sold all of my music production equipment other than just my guitar and my amp. I got rid of I got rid of all of my old woodworking equipment, the stuff that I literally started WHLabs with, like stuff that I was really attached to. I just suddenly just didn't want it anymore. And it was a very spontaneous thing. But I can't say that I regret any of it. I ended up moving in with this girl who also happened to be, I suppose, my boss at work. Um, and
Oh.
so yeah, that was a big
We
L.
do a little conflict of interest.
That's
Yeah.
kind of awkward.
Definitely a bit awkward, especially when we when we broke up. So
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
so that was it was kind of like I was really wanting to move out, but I couldn't because like I I needed this job still because I had no other form of income, and it was like in order to like get myself out of this situation, I almost needed to get both a new place and a new job. And so that was kind of the drive to get bricks to where it is now. I mean,
Well,
there was I want to tell you the story about this bow. So I bought kind of been into archery. Got into it in like middle school, whatever. But just a little bit of backstory. And um I've got this really bad habit of monetizing all my hobbies. I want to try to figure out a way to make I think I talked about that a little bit in the last time
Yeah.
we talked, but
yeah.
Yeah.
archery, I was like, yeah, I should buy a bow. Like that would be kind of fun. That's something that I used to really enjoy. That would be kind of, be kind of cool. Um, I bought this bow for my birthday. This was in July. It was a really nice bow. I went out and got like the best one that I could afford. It was like $1,200,
Oh my god.
but it was just the bow. The thing with compound bows is that you'll buy the body, but then you've got to buy the sight.
arrows.
You've got to buy the arrow rest,
Yeah.
the stabilizer, the quiver, all this stuff.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
I had this bow for months. And I was slowly building it, had pieces and pieces. I bought the arrow rest, I bought the stabilizer. And I was starting to set it up, and it was sitting in the closet. It was sitting in her closet at her house when I was living with her. And had another one of those moments where it was like, you know what, like this bow is going to cost another $600 to get fully made, and then even then, like how often am I going to be able to do this? Like I'm a full-time student. I work full time. Like I'm only going to be able to go out like on the weekend, like after lunch, like before like the sun sets. So like
Just bring your bow to work, honestly.
so
You should have just streamed the construction process.
honestly,
I mean, true.
and it was
that's
just
true.
like I was just like, you know what, man, like I'm not willing to put another $600 into this. So I never fired a shot from that bow.
Damn.
I sold it
Oh.
and I bought the trademark for Worry Bricks with that money, and bought the all the paperwork I needed to get Worry Bricks LLC made, and then a little chunk of change left to get the Shopify website set up. And so
And that was the smartest decision you have ever taken, honestly.
I am
This
with
is
that,
the
bud.
moment
I'm with
he
that.
became
I would
Heisenberg.
sell that bow 100 times over.
Yeah. Like for
And so,
Good investment.
yeah, like
yeah,
I feel
good investment.
that you had like this feeling to all of a sudden be successful, you know?
I did, dude. I was sitting getting ice cream, as I often am. Love ice cream.
Shout out
And
ice
I was,
cream.
Hell yeah.
it was a summer night, and sun was sort of setting, and I'm sitting there eating this ice cream thinking, like it was a vanilla with cookie dough and Oreo in it.
Oh,
It was
that's
like,
good.
it was like a concrete mixer. Oh yeah, it's fire.
I have never tasted
fire.
that, but I trust you.
It was
I
it was
believe it.
August, and so the September drop was about to happen, and I had this feeling like, dude, like my life is about to change, and I've never felt that about any of my half-baked ideas ever. And I was just, I mean, I couldn't sleep. I was just like, I, I don't know how to describe it, but it was exciting, and it was scary, and everything. And that's kind of how it felt when I put in my 2 weeks at work. Like, it was, thankfully I had built Bricks up to where I was confident enough in my my income to where, I could part with the job, and also just like, I can't like work in this environment anymore. Like it's just too emotionally like disturbing to be like working with your ex and stuff, especially like when they're your boss.
True.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happened. And that was like right when I was working on sliders. Like sliders were about to come out, and literally like my worst nightmare. Like I think everything's fine. I've got, I've done at this point like 4 drops with this manufacturer. Like everything's been amazing. And then like I submit the quote for the sliders. I'm like getting ready. I've already got one mistake that I made was that I made the announcement date before I got that quote confirmed, because I was just so
I
confident.
remember that.
Like
yeah.
these little the sliders are like, they're literally a regular brick cut in half. Like they're the same dimensions. And so like, okay, like these pieces are about to be like, no problem, like whatever. Dude, the pieces were gonna be like, it was gonna cost me like $27 to get sliders made with this company.
Damn,
Oh my
shawty.
god.
Why?
And so, well, for a number of reasons. Mostly it's the
The mold?
not the mold. They're molded now. The problem was, it was partly the nature of the sliders, because the sliders are different from regular bricks in that they've got more pieces and more magnets. So for each
Oh yeah.
each unit, I've got 2, in this case the orange ones, I've got 2 orange pieces. I've got 2 yellow pieces on either end. So that's 4 yellow pieces, and then each piece has 2 magnets in it. So that's 4 magnets. So when you think about it, I've got 10 pieces just in this one unit. So even if each piece is like $3, like that really starts to add up. Whereas with the regular bricks, if each piece was $3, that's still just like, $12. That's not terrible. And so the other thing was that they just like randomly decided to like hike their prices for the new year. Just
Oh,
like completely unforeseen, like no warning whatsoever.
yeah,
Just
Inflation.
that
increase their
happens.
prices.
That happens.
And so like it's it's understandable, like people are going through supply chain issues and like materials are hard to come by and like whatever, but like man, like literally as soon as bricks becomes my full-time job, I no longer have a supplier. Like it was literally the worst case scenario. So within 4 days, completely revamped the models, completely underwent an entirely new manufacturing process, found a new manufacturer, got all the negotiations made, and like opened the pre-order for January 26th, and now the sliders are injection molded. That was like the craziest week like of my life. Like I would be sitting in class and my phone would be going off from like different manufacturers I was trying to get a hold of, and I have to keep like I must have left class like 5 times because I was so terrified to miss one of these calls that could literally I have no more safety net anymore. Like this has to happen or else I'm homeless. Like
Yeah,
it's over. So
it
like
has to work. Yeah.
yeah, has to work. And so that's what I kept telling myself. Like there is no scenario in which this fails. Like it has to happen. There is there's no other option. It has to happen. So
Yeah. Like
um,
not to make everything about me, but yeah, I definitely like feel you because I actually dropped misprint just because I felt like what you felt, like the need to have a success on something you like, something you love. Uh,
right.
and I was at a point in my life when like, bro, like I don't know if you know, but like Adrian and Curtis know that my family used to be pretty wealthy. Like we used to have like quite a bit of money, but we
Invested in Doge.
yeah, we went broke, like
Right.
really really
It
bad,
happens. Yeah.
like my dad made some bad decisions, stuff like that.
I took all their money, basically. That's what I was
Right.
Yeah, so
I sold them Doge.
I needed to help, like like my mom to like buy groceries and stuff like that, and
Right.
if misprint failed, I was fucked. Like I only have so much money left in my savings account and invested from all other works that I made. So I really needed this to work, and yeah, like you said, like I'm so glad that it did, because if it
Yeah.
didn't work, I was fucked. Like
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that your family fell on hard times. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I hope things are going better now. But yeah, man, those products where it's more than just a deck of cards. It's more than just a magnetic toy. Like it's those are the sweetest. Those are things that you're gonna remember for a really long
Yeah.
time.
Like people might think that Worry Bricks it must be like drop shipped, or it's only like
Oh yeah, I swear, I
it's
knew
a-
that was gonna be on TikTok.
Yeah.
We're gonna get these on like AliExpress.
Or like it's just plastic with magnets, but no, bro, it's like it took you time to develop the idea to create this to
Years in the making.
Yeah, that's what people don't really understand, that it's not only a product, it takes time, it takes years, it takes months,
For sure.
thousands of hours to create something, to come up with the idea, to have the skills to create that, to become the person that you are in order to create something like this. So that's why I really fucking love like Worry Bricks. Like every time you're doing a live, I just hop in to say like, just bro, like I fucking love you.
Yeah, man.
So I'm really I'm really
that.
glad you fucking made it, bro.
Thanks. Well, I don't know about made it quite yet, but I hope I hope other people sort of feel the same way. I do kind of cash in on the sort of the underdog story. Like it's just kind of, it's just me doing these toys. Like it's kind of, I try to it's you can kind of become like a victim of it. Like I'm really proud of how the website looks now, and especially like with the help of like your renders and stuff, like everything just looks really well done. I don't think people realize that like it's just me. Like I don't think like when I get emails and things, it's always like, "Hey, Worry Bricks team," or like, "Hey, can somebody in your customer service department
In
help
your
me out with
department.
this?" And it's just like, yeah, it's just and I write them back and I just say, "Hey, hey, it's me. I'm uh, what can I do?" And then just sort of leave my name and
See when the
stuff,
customer is mad, and
make it
then
more
you're just like,
personable.
Bro,
Yeah,
like that's the thing.
let me get the manager. Hold on.
yeah,
And the
Yeah,
manager.
like that's the
exactly.
thing, bro. You have to like capitalize on that, or people thinking you are bigger than you are. Like
Yeah.
because like if someone sends me a DM on the misprint account or something like that, I always say,
Mhm.
yeah, me and the team and stuff like. And
Well, yeah, it's
the only
We're
other
working
person
hard.
in the team is Curtis, and that's it.
right.
It's like just me
Right.
and
I'm only here
Curtis.
for emotional support too. So I mean,
He's
Yeah,
not even
so
there, bro. Like,
yeah, he's like, you have to capitalize on that. Like,
For sure. Well, it's sort of it depends on the situation because it's you got to know when to play each card because it's like because some people a lot of like the EDC community, it seems like what I'm trying to do with bricks is use the sort of EDC style of marketing where it's like it's kind of laid back and just the style of video is very I think it's I don't know, it's like every big EDC account is literally just like a guy who has like built this sort of EDC company, but it's still just him. He hasn't bothered to like get a production crew or anything because he's just like a I mean, this is incredible. This is very stereotypical, but just like in general, it's usually just like some guy, and he's just got his phone, and his phone, like the pictures that it takes and the video of him just sort of holding his product, like he just makes a really good product, and there's no sort of nonsense in the marketing. What I'm trying to
yeah,
do is inject the perfect amount of nonsense into my into my marketing, but keep that sort of organic experience of what it might be like for you to be holding this product, for you to be using it. Because I think while it's really cool to have awesome renders every once in a while, to be dropping solo videos with nice cameras and fancy tricks, like I think there's some real value into just whipping your phone out on a sunny day and just getting just a nice, pleasant, very digestible, very consumable video that everybody can relate to. That's sort of eye catching, um, whether it's the sun hitting the colors just right or like, whatever. But those are the videos that really do the best. Like the, going back to the water bricks, I'm going to pull it up here now. The water bricks video has got no tricks in it. It's just me on
showing
the
it.
balcony of
Yeah,
my apartment holding the bricks, spinning them around a bit, letting you see the light sort of run through them and clicking them a couple of times. And it's got almost 30% more than our next highest one. I mean, it's insane. So
yeah.
that's I'm wondering, if because I'm already just because of the nature of worry bricks, just because they're so it's not like it's one of those situations where it's like it's not what it is, but it's how you use it, it's how you present it. It's a real simple toy, in all fairness. It's it's the sort of the community that I'm trying to build with it. It's it's the tricks, the way, because coming from a cardistry background, I've tried to make things appeal to cardists or to or like the beggar guys or there are some tricks that are like kind of kendama inspired, like doing like calling a trick a down spike. Like you don't have to call it that, but like if if you can insert some sort of a familiar vocabulary and sort of engage with a different audience, like you need to use that. Every word counts. Like every whether it's the color of the font, like you gotta get dialed in, I think. But um, if I do decide to, I've just got this sneaking suspicion that one day I'm going to see Worry Bricks in Walmart, but I didn't make them. That's what keeps me up
I
at
would
night
not
these
be
days.
surprised.
Oh yeah.
So that's I wouldn't be shocked at all if that happens.
I mean,
So-
that's when you really
Um,
made it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Those
Knockoffs
dollar
in
store
Walmart.
knockoffs.
When
sure.
someone bigger than you took your idea, like
Yeah,
it might
because
sound
I've had there's been a few instances of knockoffs already, but it's nobody that's bigger than me. It's just like kids with their like 3D printers, just sort of making them like over it. Like it's mostly like Russian kids for whatever reason. They see them on TikTok. Dude, the audience on TikTok is almost entirely Russian. It's the weirdest thing ever,
Really?
but like that's just what the algorithm picked up on, and like it's just I don't know, like it's just one of those things. But yeah, there's been a couple of like Russian knockoffs and things. But what I was gonna say is like I'm already thinking about what's coming next. Like obviously I'm gonna ride bricks out until either like I get them into Walmart or somebody approaches me and they want to buy the company, something like that happens. But like when that happens, I want to have something in the back pocket already. And I think I've kind of got it. But
Ooh.
the what I want to have happen, it's not a deck of cards, but like if somebody like says, "Hey, I want Worry Bricks. I'll give you $1 million." I'm taking that $1
Worry
million.
decks.
I don't care. Like I don't care if there's like $1 billion to be made. I'm chilling with that million, and I'm gonna go start the next
Damn.
Worry Bricks, whatever that might be. But I really want to make a deck of cards, and I'm wondering how my experiences with Worry Bricks and learning how to market a new product. I'm wondering if I can take that and spin it and present a deck of cards in a new way that might be interesting to people.
yeah, like I was gonna say like it happens because like I just sent a post like I I created the idea for misprint like bro years ago, like 4 years ago. And then like Fontaine dropped like this gaff pack, and you can see one of the cards is literally the same idea
Yeah.
as misprint. And I was like, bro,
Yeah.
how? How? Like
Yeah.
now people might think that I fucking copied Callum Morelli or something like that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's seeing if I could have a conversation with myself when I was 16 and my ego was much larger, I if I would have seen that Russian kid making knockoff bricks, I would have lost it. I would have I mean just I mean that would have ruined my life like seeing that. Now it's like I don't know. It's almost like
It's flattering.
kind of. There's a little bit of that because I've never had an idea good enough to steal. I don't think, or like worth stealing. But
Yeah.
and that's not to say that these are. But I mean, somebody thought so. Like that's that's just it's something that's never happened before. So it's kind of like it's almost like a good omen.
Yeah.
Almost, it's just kind of like here's a sign that you're on the right path.
Yeah. Exactly. Like
So that's how you should try to spin it. Just think like, man, like one
Oh,
of
yeah.
my ideas was good enough for Fontaine to use in a deck. Like,
Yeah,
even
like-
if
like I remember the day that got posted, like people started to like sending DMs to the misprint account, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't really care, like
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like people who know that I made misprint like years ago, they know. If they don't,
Yeah.
if they don't know, they don't know, bro. Like I cannot make them change their mind.
for sure,
So yeah, I wasn't mad. I was just like, yo, like I had the same idea that Callum Morelli. That's sick. I used to love.
Yeah,
I I used to look up to him. So it's really cool.
dude. That reminds me. I did a hydro dipped deck before Elliot did the clouds.
Oh yeah.
I've got the I've got the post to prove it. It was like 2017. But it was like a hand dipped thing. It wasn't like I wasn't smart enough to just be like, why not just do 52 unique like hydro dipped images? Like what I was trying to do was do like a hand painted deck, like because that was when hand painted Tobias ones were so
Oh,
sick
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day. I was like, dude, what about like a hand painted like hydro dipped one? Because I was at the time I was playing with like hydro dipping begler beads and stuff. And so I spent like 3 days like putting painter's tape on blank bicycle cards and like hydro dipping each one. And I was getting them like it was literally days before the 2017 LA Cardistry Con. And it was like my dream to like have this super sick deck to bring with me and to show off. And it was literally the night before I'm about to leave. And the deck is finished, everything's dry, it's got the clear coat on it. The problem is when I was peeling the painter's tape off, the cards would bend slightly, and I was like, like no big deal. Like I'll just I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put them under some weight. I'll just like flatten the paper out again. Put a little too much weight on there. When I took the deck out, it was a brick. It was like all of the cards stuck together, and they could not. When I peeled them apart, the paper just ripped, and basically like wasted a week of my life. And I did not have the super sick deck to bring with me. So like, it was kind of, maybe if like that deck would have worked out, I may have like come to my senses to be like, why don't I just like print these? But
Yeah.
but
Damn.
at the end of the day, you
That's
still got to give
tough.
credit where credit's due, and like the cloud deck is like a super sick deck. I just wish that I just wish that deck wouldn't have stuck together. That's all I want.
But things happen for a reason. Like you didn't
sure.
make that deck, but now you fucking made your own empire with the Worry Bricks. So
yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
another one of my sort of my bad habits. This is something that I would like say like beware to like any sort of budding entrepreneurs. Like there's definitely like something to be said about making handcrafted things, but like your goal if you want to make real money is to have the least amount of interaction with your product as possible while still keeping as much of your voice in it. Like that's part of the reason why I decided that like we can't be printing bricks anymore. Like we gotta outsource these. It was just like before that I was making like we talked about like the cologne and like the wallets and stuff. It was all just like stuff where it was just like so labor intensive. Like I would be spending so much time on like on each one that like there's just no hope of getting anything done. And like as obvious as that seems, like it never quite occurred to me that like this is never really gonna be the one that takes care of me financially. Like it's just never gonna happen. Like I don't know. I mean, obviously, like the bigger part of that is like you have to come up with a product that like has the demand to even warrant that. But like if you've got the feeling that like even if it's just a little too early to do it, like just just put the money down, like just save up and get that bulk manufacturing order and just get a taste of that
YOLO.
freedom. Like you will never go back ever, ever. I will never like the now I'm sort of I've got enough of bricks figured out to where like most of my time is just like sitting and just like meditating on like what to do next kind of, and then like occasionally there'll be some like editing that I'll need to do or like make adjustments to the website, do all this stuff, and then obviously like assembly is the biggest part of my
What
thing,
two
but
colors
assembly
can I
is
make next?
exact well it's it's colors, it's
No.
shapes, it's like but
There's a
now
lot
that
of
like
possibilities. You did. Yeah, it's a banger idea, honestly.
Yeah, it's just
it's also
basically
just
like a what's next moment
right
now.
Speaking of
And-
what's next,
Oh my god, let the man finish his thought.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, now that Bricks is like getting more and more automated, now I've got like the time to go back and do some like handmade stuff, like just for the fun of it. Like now I don't have to rely on it financially. I've got like the toys to cover that, and so like not to drop any like teasers or anything, but like there's gonna be some leather brick holsters and stuff. Like there's gonna be time for more handmade stuff involving bricks as sort of like limited edition things that I can just release alongside the cash cow, if that makes sense. Like that was the error of my ways back then. It was like I was trying to make these handmade products that just like there's nothing quite. I was making deck holsters, but I didn't have a deck. Like that's the difference. Like make the deck first, get your audience, get like a sustainable like flow of income, and then do your handmade stuff on top. That's like the biggest piece of advice that I would give to myself like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you made soap. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
It's so random. I was like, what the
Yeah.
hell is this guy doing? Why is he making soap?
I know.
Like
I know. I think about it all the time.
I think that if right now you drop everything you dropped back in the day, like the soap, the perfume, the holster, and all, you will be selling the fuck out of it.
Worry soap.
Yeah, like
The soap.
Yeah,
comes
just-
in, the soap comes in like the worry.
yeah,
Bricks.
just like a soap in the shape of the worry brick, bro. Banger.
Well,
For
dude,
real.
the
Not
funny
a
thing
bad
is
idea.
like once I buy my laser cutter, like you could literally make like the Bricky character out of like a brick of soap. You could just like laser
Yeah.
engrave the his face onto it. That'd be kind of
Okay,
funny.
what if you made like a block of soap, but you added like worry bricks in it, so then you had to shower and use it, and then as you
Oh.
used it, and then it revealed it like a treasure.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
yeah,
mean-
and every bar of soap has just like a random color or something like that. So
Mhm.
if you are lucky, you get like a limited edition one. Bro,
Worry Bricks mystery
that's
soap.
that's so cool. Oh my
There you
god.
go, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's really
Dude,
smart.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's the fun thing is like, that's the fun part. That's what me and Will do now when we sit down and we talk about bricks. Like, we just come up with like the most wild, like harebrained ideas just just for the fun of the idea, like stuff like that. Like, we're working on sort of implementing a system that's, it's not soap. It's like, it's kind of, I don't know. Nah, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah,
Redacted,
can't talk about it, but it's it's ideas sort of. I don't want to say like that. Like that one's pretty out there, obviously, but like it's fun stuff like that. Like now there's time for like the icing on the cake. It's like let's have a little bit of fun with it. Like I don't know. I'm just so I don't know. I'm just so in a state of shock. Like still, but I don't know.
Yeah, like we've been recording for about 50 minutes, so
Mhm.
you have like any closing thoughts? Feel
Wait, I have a
free.
closing
Already?
thought.
Yeah,
Already?
bro. The
I want to
the,
talk about the future of bricks.
the
and
conversation
not
is
because I
really
care-
cool. So like
Not
that's
because I care
why.
about the future of bricks. I just want to. It's a personal question.
Yeah, go
Uh,
ahead.
Sure.
So I
Future
really
of
want.
bricks.
I really want one of the black and white, just basically the original ones. So I was thinking, is the future worry bricks? Are you just gonna keep doing like drops at random, or are you gonna have like a few staples, like I don't know, the black and white, the Enderman, the this, that, and the other, and then you're gonna have the random wild, like the ice bricks or the heart bricks or the these, but you're gonna have your how anyone has the forever checkerboards.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Well, maybe
yeah.
you could have those with the staple, like the original design, maybe like those and the sliders, and then you would do like these drops, like the tacticals, and then all the random cool new ones as you go.
Definitely. Yeah, that's sort of that'll depend on how the demand keeps growing. I think one of the cool parts about bricks is that we can keep introducing new shapes with new functions to keep sort of people interested. And especially when the new shapes can interact in a fun way with the previous ones. So it's like, even if you've got the originals, like if you pair an original with the joystick, it's like a whole new way to play. So like it's kind of like a built-in
Yeah.
incentive to sort of keep the train going. And then, once you've got your new shapes, then you can introduce popular colorways of those shapes. That's kind of what we're doing right now. So getting when you say like forever checks, like the staple for Worry Bricks is going to be an injection molded toy, purely for the cost side of things. The pieces are just so much cheaper when you've got the mold paid for it. Dude, the mold for the sliders, like even that little yellow piece cost about like $5,000 to
Oh
get the
my
mold made
god.
for it.
Oh.
Hey,
So
Shorty.
it's
Oh,
an
God.
an excessive amount of capital to get molds made for pieces, and so like we're still kind of we're building up a catalog of molds so that eventually we can have constant inventory and people won't have to be stressed about
Yeah,
drops.
that's
But
pretty much how I feel.
the only thing that I don't want to sort of divorce like from bricks is that sort of the fun part of introducing new shapes and things. So there's going to be some staples that'll be injection molded, and then I think what we'll probably do is we'll keep doing these sort of whenever we've got a new if like there's going to be a point where one of like a new shape crosses that threshold to warrant getting a mold made, and then it'll just be constant. So like there'll be some shapes that just never quite reach that threshold and they'll always be limited, and then there'll be some that are popular enough to where you can get them
Makes sense. Yeah.
done constant. Because the thing that sucks is like the reason that I want to do that, it's not really any sort of like people think that I do drops like this because I'm trying to like be like a hype brand or like have rarities and things, which is like cool. It's like a side effect kind of, but mostly it's just like the demand is hard to gauge, and also like I just haven't had the resources to outsource assembly like until now, and so like I can only order as much as I can put together with myself within a reasonable time. So that was like one of the drawbacks of sort of like filling the boots of the demand that we've been experiencing, and then also just like having enough capital to get the molds made for like a more reasonable production process that can handle the types of quantities that I need to be ordering now. And so it's literally just been a byproduct of that. Like it's just those sort of restrictions that we've been experiencing. But now, as we continue to grow, like I want to have constant inventory in case something like sliders happens again. Like the sliders literally carried bricks into the new era. Sliders are our most important shape to date, and I anticipate they will probably be our most popular shape, especially after Cardistry Con.
Really?
Bricks, the sliders like doubled our following on Instagram like within a week, and nearly like quintupled our following on TikTok, because that's what really did it. Was there was this one the debut video when I first showed sliders for the first time. That video has currently got 8.6 million views on TikTok,
Oh my god.
which is awesome. And there's the thing that was driving me crazy is that like the first like couple of nights, like that first night when it hit that million, and it just like out of nowhere, it just like took off, and it was just like showed no signs of stopping. I was sitting there going, I could have like even if 5% of the people who saw this video went to my website and I had inventory available right now, I could have made six figures tonight, but I've got nothing to sell. And I never want that to happen again. I can't let an opportunity like that pass up again, because I think that's going to be what the third stage for bricks is going to be, is whenever bricks go viral again, and this time we've got the systems in place to have inventory ready for when it happens. That's the future.
Yeah,
Nice.
All right.
that's tough. Like,
That's a heavy note to end on.
yeah.
You got this shit figured out. I could never.
Actually, I have one last question that I forgot to ask. Like, Cardistry Con, like I know that they be asking for like 400 decks, 450 decks, something like that. So how many sets did they ask you to sponsor, or do you actually
Worry bricks in each bag?
or do you actually like paid the fee to be a sponsor?
So Dan actually reached out to me,
Oh, my bad.
Oh,
which
My
was
bad.
which
Mr.
changes everything.
Popular. Yeah.
It was funny because I was talking to Sean, and it was Sean's idea. He was like, "Dude, you should get a hold of Cardistry Con, and you should give a Cardistry Con presentation. Like that would be such a good thing for you." And I was like, "Oh my god, Sean, you're a genius." Sean is a genius. I just want to say that right now. Like all of my all my ideas that I think are worth anything, I run them by Sean, and he makes them 100 times better.
Which
it's just
Sean? Sean O?
Sean O, yeah.
Oh yeah. He's really
interesting.
cool. He's really cool.
And so I had been sitting on it for like ever because I was like, hey, like what, like it would maybe he'll let me do it if I have a video first. I can show him the video and be like, what do you think? Or like if I've got an idea for a presentation or like all this. And so I sat on it for like months, and I was like, just wasn't sure. And then one day the Worry Bricks account got that DM from Cardistry Con and said just like, hey Weston, we'd be interested in having you give a presentation this year. What do you think? And so like I was on a Zoom call with Dan like the next day, and we hashed it out. And so we're going to be giving like a 10 to 15 minute presentation, and then we're going to have a video afterwards.
So no Worry Bricks in the
so we don't have to necessarily confine to like the usual requirements for like sponsorship
because you were invited, so it's different.
Right. It's well, I think that's kind of why that is. Like there will be I did offer to donate some bricks, so there will be some bricks in brick bags. Not all brick bags. It's going to be kind of randomized because we are going to have a booth afterwards. And so there'll be like bricks for sale and like a special Cardistry Con price, and there's going to be a special Cardistry Con edition and like all this stuff. And so if everybody got a set of bricks in their bag, like there's no point in you coming to the booth. So that's kind of the idea behind that. So there's gonna be some in bags, and then there's gonna be that's what this trip was. When I flew Will out, and we filmed a bunch of stuff. We filmed a bunch of tutorials. We filmed the Tacticals trailer, and then we filmed what will be our Cardistry Con video, the video that will be shown after the presentation. And so I don't like quite want to say what's in the video, but there's when you say like the future bricks, that's definitely going to be.
It's gonna be there.
I think that video is going to be an eye opener for sure.
Worry bricks made of actual brick.
Fuck, I regret not going to this year con. Fuck, like
that's dude. I was
registration open.
Yeah, but
Curtis, registration's still open.
Bro, I if I go, I have to get like my visa, my passport. I have to like book the place I'm staying. It's just too much
money.
It's just too much money for me right now. You know, like
use the extra misprint decks to sponsor CC.
Yeah, that was my idea, but I don't have that. But fuck yeah, I have a lot of remaining. But I cannot say this here. But yeah, yeah, like
idea, dude.
for everyone out there, there is only like 1K printed. You know, like only 1K for sure.
Technically,
yeah, but yeah, I might do that. Like good idea, Curtis. Like I actually might do that
for sure.
Yeah.
I was stressing so hard that like they weren't going to announce the sponsors until like later, because I was kind of like selfishly hoping that like maybe some people would go just because they knew that bricks would be there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know I don't know that anybody cares about bricks that much yet, but like there was probably like one or two people, like especially like from the Discord, who are like diehard fans who might actually buy a ticket just to come and like hang out and do bricks.
Yeah.
The one person in the whole building that's just gonna have bricks and no deck in his hand.
Yeah.
We're just gonna bully them.
Yeah.
When
Dan was talking about how squids took off after the Berlin Cardistry Con, and like Chase gave a presentation on squids, and then like after that presentation, like everybody was using squids that whole con. That's what I want to have happen with bricks. I want to just look out over a sea of just like clickety clacks, like everybody's just using them. Like that's the goal for the con here. We're gonna take
sure it's going to happen. Like it's
just
gonna happen
Chase,
for sure. Yeah, just don't pull a Chase. Like
yeah,
thank you.
Don't finesse people. Like
no chance, dude.
You're too good of a friend of mine to pull that shit. So
yeah, no worries there.
Okay, wait. So we heard the future of Worry Bricks. What about your future?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we talked about that briefly, right? You were hoping to design cards, but I know everything that you do is unique. So like in the future, if you were to design a card, a deck, I don't know why I said
Card,
card,
a
but
single card.
so so what would a unique feature that you would want to implement into your deck?
Just so I can steal it. I mean,
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what,
it's not
we've-
like I have a brand that specializes in that. Just say your idea, bro.
Well, I'll tell you what. Will and I actually have a deck of cards that we're sort of using right now. That we're probably going to start posting with, like maybe even like this week. It's like it's one of those things that it's just sort of it's a design that feels good to me. There was definitely planning behind it, but it's not like we're not trying to introduce a new concept with it. Um, there's it's still kind of in the works in terms of like how I plan on marketing it, but it's like at the end of the day, my philosophy with the deck is like if it looks cool and I want to use it, then like that's good enough for me. And if other people like it, then we'll roll with it. But if not, like it's just $20 that I spent on an NPC deck. Like it's not. I think people take decks like I don't know. That's kind of just like my shortcomings with like my own prowess in design coming out. Like I'm just not not that great at it. So I'm I don't have it in me to make like an incredible deck. I don't think like swatches were never like an intricate design or anything. It was just kind of like I just kind of like gave it the brick treatment. It's like it's not what it is. It's how you use it. It's like it's the vibe of the whole thing, like the community and stuff. So that's kind of what this next deck is going to be. I think for if I were to ignore that one and just like start fresh, I think, and I know Pablo will be with me on this one, but I think it's still a little bit too early. But I really think the concept of digital assets would be awesome to incorporate into cardistry somehow.
Yeah,
not the
for sure.
NFT.
NFT.
Oh god. NFT
Something
pocket
like
cut.
that.
I mean, for
There's
sure.
there's something there because nobody's quite touched it yet, and it's also just because like NFTs have just like become a meme, and it's like it's kind of unfortunate because I think that
Yeah.
there's so much value in the idea
Yeah,
itself, and
that's
like
actually true.
I don't know, I don't know, it would be super risky in the current current culture, but like maybe one day if the technology is more widely accepted, I think there's a lot of value, especially because we're such an art based community. Like there's got to be an angle. I just haven't quite figured it out yet. But
I mean, I know the December boys, they released like 4 like green screen cards with their decks. So I mean,
Mhm.
that's like I
Yeah.
guess maybe
Yeah,
there's
true.
some potential there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was
The C deck.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember that because me and Will were sitting in the audience going like, dude, Boss literally did that. Like Boss made green screen cards and did like a fire animation over his packet cut. Like he did that like years ago. Does anybody remember that? Boss John?
I kind of remember.
I remember there was some kid who used green fontaines and then he
Yeah.
added like fire and stuff on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if Boss like actually made his own deck. I think he was just using like green Nox or something to do it. But
Yeah,
that's,
I remember it.
Yeah, I feel like
it
I've
was
seen that,
Nox.
yeah.
It was Nox. I remember it. Yeah. But yeah, if you ever like wanna do a deck or something like that, I mean, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Boss instead of
Honestly,
You can
This-
like just do it with Misprint, like the brand that does
Man's trying to rep his clout.
Yeah.
that
Well,
does
dude, I think
crazy stuff.
there's like incorporating like bricks and cardistry, like especially after Cardistry Con, it might be kind of cool to do a deck. But like one thing that I think would be cool would be to like a deck that I've wanted to do for a little while now since I've introduced the sort of the bricky character and like the little sliders and stuff and the artwork that I get from my friend Emma. I think that would translate really well into a deck that's sort of the artwork that she does, and also the renders that you do, Pablo, of the bricks themselves, like using making a rendered brick photo that would also work well like as a back design. I think would be cool, but I just don't know how.
Wait, what if
You
you
know.
had like a back design, but like there are squares or like there's these rectangles to like represent where you could place bricks or like slide them around. So it's like patterns or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
rhythm games, like it's kind of like that, but like with bricks and cards.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. I thought you were gonna say you should make a deck that's got like, oh, dude, man, imagine a deck that like has got like a giant like thumb groove on it, like not an actual like 3D thumb groove, but like that's the design. Is it like it looks like there's a thumb groove on it, and it like looks like a brick, kind of just like a
was
plain
my
border.
idea. That was my idea.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was my idea. Fuck.
Okay.
Okay.
So you already know 15% off of each worry deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me,
Exactly.
because I was the one who-
dude, the thing that I've been laughing about is like selling worry bricks, like 12 decks in a brick, like it's an actual. You know what I mean?
Oh, yo, bro.
Because I've been thinking
that's
about
sick.
like I've been thinking about figuring out how to do like brick boxes, but with actual worry bricks, like selling bricks in like sets of 6 or like 6 of 12. Whenever we do like a bunch of different shapes, a bunch of different colorways in one drop. Like if you buy 6 of them, they'll come in like a brick box, and you can get like a discount on each one, kind of like you do with bricks of cards.
Fuck.
Don't pull a Fontaine and say, "Oh, you need to buy a brick of cards to get this exclusive worry brick."
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
I love the idea. I
He's
must
gonna
say,
do it.
kind of like that idea.
Wait,
That's totally something that I would do.
Yeah,
I must
he's gonna
say.
do it.
Sorry to say, but yeah.
I feel it, bro. Chase a bag,
Bro, like
As
now
long as you give me the 15%.
now with like the huge worry brick box idea, like fuck, now I will just start thinking about that shit all day.
Yeah, dude. Because like, what if it's like an actual box? Then you could like really make it look like a brick.
Yo,
You could have a thumbprint on each
I'm
side, and like.
I'ma do some drafts for like ideas of designs for the deck. I'ma send them
Right.
to you. Like my goal this year is to do a fucking collab deck with you. That will be my fucking goal.
It'd be fun, man.
Just
It'd be
because of the fucking brick box idea. I want to do that shit. Like I really want to do that.
Yeah, good idea, man.
It's
It's pretty
pretty-
cool.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so smart. Like I'm just imagining it in my desk. Bro, Miss Brick. Oh my god. Bro, I'm just hyping it up so bad.
You're gonna make him have a stroke.
Yeah, like oh my god, like yeah. It's too much for me to handle right now.
Yeah. All right. I think enough fun for today.
Enough fun. Let's talk business.
But yeah,
Draw
bro.
my PayPal so you can just send those 50%.
Oh my god. Oh yeah,
Um,
I was gonna tell like a story about Weston being really generous. Bro, I remember the time that I did some renders for you, and then like you forgot to send the PayPal fee. Then I told you, and he fucking sent me $50, and I was really happy because
Yeah.
he gave me
Yeah, I remember
$50. I just felt really weird because I was like, bro, why did you send me 50? It was 5.
Yeah.
And he said, like, yeah, don't worry, you can have it. I was like, oh my god.
Damn.
He-
Well, it was
He
a
wanted-
situation where I needed these renders for Black Friday, and I didn't have time to get prototypes made, and so like you really came in clutch for that.
Oh, I
release, and
remember.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like-
was like, you know what, man? I'll send him another 50 just for
I had
short
to.
notice.
I had to speed up everything. Yeah, I think I delivered everything like 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Yeah, I remember. Like same thing happened like once before with Spencer Clark. Like he sent me some decks of the Shirosu cards, and I just like the deck. Like I even bought like 3 more just because I really like them so much. Yeah, I just made a photo, and he was like, "Hey, yo, do you mind if I use it for like promotion and stuff like that?" Yeah, sure. Like I don't care. And then he sent me another message like, "What's your PayPal? I'm gonna send you like $20." So Oh my god, yeah, 20. It's pretty cool for one photo that I already made. Then I sent him my PayPal,
Yeah, that's a good gesture.
and bro, he fucking sent me 200. I
Are
was
you guys stupid? Why do you keep putting the extra zero? Damn, it was 5
Bro,
and 20. Guys at 50 and 200.
Bro, I actually
that.
told him that. I thought, bro, I think you mistyped like $20, and he said, "No, bro, I just wanted to send you 200." That picture's fire. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, why this keeps happening to me? Like, I'm not complaining, but it feels so weird. You know that.
We know who to rob when we see in person.
Exactly.
For sure.
Dude.
Yeah, that feeling is just so weird. Like, you don't meet people like that often. That's why I appreciate your friendship, bro, because
You give me money.
Yeah.
He's buying your friendship.
No, it's that he's cool, you know. You don't find people like that often. Like, because I do the same thing, but like in real life, like when I see someone that is homeless, I just tell my family if we go buy food and stuff like that for people in the streets, because you don't know what the struggle that they're happening. So
Sure.
Hey, Pablo.
yeah.
Maybe Pablo. Maybe one day when I eventually run Worry Bricks into the ground, you'll give me $1 when you see me on the street.
I mean, for sure. Like, if you ever come to Mexico, bro, you can stay in
my
Sounds good.
garage.
in like I was gonna say one of my houses, but like we don't have
one of your houses.
We don't
Okay.
have that many houses right now because
We only have
fucking
15.
broke as family right now. But you can stay at my house, bro. Yeah, like
Thanks, man. We'll design the next deck out there.
Mecty, bro.
That's what, dude. I wish. Yeah, I was trying to get. There was a point when I was trying to get Will to fly out to Missouri to just like stay and live at my place. It was when I like needed a roommate. I was in between. I was like, dude, Will should come out here because like if the amount of stuff that Will and I came up with in the like 48 hours that he was here. Also, I just want to say, just to like pat myself on the back for the grind. I drove. His flight came in Kansas City at 11:45. It was supposed to be 10:30. So it's a 3-hour drive. I get there at 10:30, wait the hour and 15 minutes for his delayed plane to get there. We drive back. We don't get home until 4 in the morning. We wake up. I go to class, come back. We spend the entire rest of the day until it gets dark filming tutorials. Then when it gets dark, we go to the library where it's still light and we can film the voiceovers for the tutorials. Go to sleep, wake up. Classes got canceled. So we go straight to the location for the shoot for the Cardistry Con video, and then we go to dinner. We celebrate and stuff. It's 9:00 that night. His flight leaves the next day at 5 in the morning, so he's got to be there at about 3 in the morning so that he's like got enough time safety for boarding, which means we have to leave at midnight to get him there. So I come home and I sleep for 3 hours. I go to sleep from like 9:00 to basically midnight. I drive him all the way to the airport and then drive all the way home and get home at like 6:30 in the morning. I sleep for another 3 hours, 6:30 to 10:30. I wake up and I edit the first tutorial for Bricks and I drop it. That's been my life for the past like week.
Sigma grind set. What the hell?
Dude, I've got no other like that's just how it is when you don't have anything, like you've got no safety net, like you've got no other job. Like this is what I do now.
yeah.
This is my
I
life.
actually respect that so much, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, like damn.
The hustle is real.
The hustle is real.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone aspiring to be you, not gonna lie.
Well, maybe not with the same steps, but like, you know, the same level.
Yeah, the
I
success.
don't,
The
yeah,
success.
I don't think anybody is dying to be living on 3 hours of sleep and driving 6 hours starting at midnight. I don't think anybody's dying to do that. But
Being ready to hear for the next like 3 years of your life every single time you go on Instagram. Just click, 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 click. Yeah, bro. That's it. Good stuff.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't worry, bro. Like, this is gonna be a
Yeah, for
Thanks
banger
for hopping
episode.
in, bro. You just, yeah.
Man just
Yeah.
joined in and decided to like
Carry the
enlighten us.
carry the entire episode. That's cool, bro.
Now we're gonna get the worry. You're gonna get a sprinkle of clout from the Worry Bricks Discord, the Instagram,
Oh
man,
yeah,
I'll be
for
sure
sure.
to. I'll make a post about it.
the return of
let me know.
paperless.
we gotta be consistent now, because
Yeah.
if we get that cloud, we need to actually write it.
We're just gonna have Weston on every episode from now on.
He's gonna be a permanent co-host.
Is it not
Dude,
going to
don't
be
get me
like the
started, man,
paperless
'cause I'll-
podcast? It's going to be like the brickless podcast.
It's paperless because it's only bricks now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
We ditch the paper. We only use plastic now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, bro. Once again, thank you so much for joining.
Of course. Any closing thoughts for Misprint, or any shout outs you guys want to give? Stuff you guys are working on?
I need a girlfriend.
This
It's been an ongoing issue for a while.
No.
Unlike you, Weston, my manager is like 50.
I mean, it's still
not a
workable.
possibility. No, it's not a possibility. at the moment,
Man,
so.
she can be a gilf, so
No, that's not workable.
No, that's non-negotiable.
yeah,
That's about it for me.
like
Yeah.
I actually do not have anything to announce. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, bro. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Get
Always.
you a Cardistry Con if you're going. Hopefully you're
Oh
going.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
better
go to
go.
Cardistry Con. I'm gonna see if, depending on how the tacticals drop goes, I might talk to Dan about arranging some Cardistry Con tickets to give away. I would really like to have some brick people get the opportunity to have a free flight if they can arrange it.
yeah. I might not go, but if I do, hope to see you there. If I don't, I might just FaceTime Adrian
Of course.
to like speak to
Well, I'll
you.
tell you what. Yeah, I'll save a set of the whatever decks whatever cards we end up. Oh my god, whatever bricks we end up releasing at the con.
Yeah, if I don't go, I will just FaceTime Adrian and just ask him to speak to you or some shit like that.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah, take care.
Yeah, so finally, as a thank you to everybody watching this, everybody's
For
actually
sure.
getting a free set of bricks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
new
last
tacticals,
time.
new
Yeah.
tacticals that are jumped. Yeah,
If you didn't know, last time we had Weston, like he gave away a brick to everyone that watched the episode. That honestly, it wasn't
Or
that
it's only
many.
like 3 people.
It wasn't that many. It was just like 7. But it is what it is. We work with what we have, you know.
so all 3 of you guys who are still listening, free
And
bricks.
that's me.
Yeah.
The 3 of
the
you after
future.
you log off. Go watch. It'll be 4 now. I'm gonna listen back. For
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. So yeah.
Hey, that soap idea, do that, bro.
Yeah.
I know some motherfuckers don't be shadowing. Bricks would be a
Okay.
good incentive.
I'm-
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now. Yeah.